I just think there are a lot of ways to make a difference in life, and I chose public service, serving in the United States Congress for 3 decades. But much of what I did meant a great deal to me, and I had a passion for it. And one of those areas especially was dealing with the people who were here first in this country, the Native Americans, American Indians, who welcomed everyone else. And, you know, I began to understand the history, work with Indian people, understand that they have, for a couple of centuries, watched treaties and promises be broken. And I just decided, you know something, this country owes them. They deserve better than what has happened to them. You know, Avis Littlewind was 14 years old, and Avis Littlewind was laying in bed for 90 days in a fetal position, and nobody missed her. The school didn't miss her. She came from a dysfunctional family, and eventually she got out of bed and she took her own life. And I went to that Indian reservation to ask about what happened. How does a young girl like Avis Littlewind fall through the cracks here and nobody notices? Where's the mental health treatment for someone in difficulty? And, you know, Tamara Demiris, age 3, put in a foster home by someone that's handling 150 different cases of children. Well, nobody checked the foster home out, and this little girl had her nose broken, her arm broken, her hair pulled out by the roots at age 3. I mean, these are things that when I became knowledgeable and began to understand what is really happening, and then began working with the tribal chairmen and tribal councils and others, those who are governing in the governing bodies of reservations, what I have discovered is the resources has not existed to address these issues: health, education, housing, the kinds of things that most of us in America routinely expect to be able to be taken care of, either by ourselves or others. Maybe we, through citizen action, can develop some solutions and provide some help. And that's the purpose of putting together an organization here at the Aspen Institute. It's Center for Native American Youth, but to me it's really Indian children at risk, teen suicide prevention, substance abuse, gangs, all those issues that are confronted routinely on Indian reservations. And I just want to create a place where everybody can understand somebody cares and somebody's trying to do something about it. One of the things that's important to understand is there are tribal leaders, tribal chairmen, council members, and tribal governments across this country who try valiantly every day to address these problems. I've worked with them. I deeply admire the work they're doing, but the fact is they're hamstrung. They don't have the resources. They have been the recipients of broken promises, and they work every day to try to address these problems, and it's very hard for them. This center is going to work very closely with the tribal governments as well. We're going to do a lot of things. We're going to go out to some Indian schools and talk to kids at the schools. We're going to have some Indian youth summits where we bring Indian children together here and in other parts of the country. And we're going to do a lot of things that really reach out to Indian children and have them involved in the discussions, and have some of those Indian children who are now very interested in organizing and are already doing some organizing of others to see if they can do the things that will improve their lives. We're putting together a board of advisors for this program here at the Aspen Institute, and that's going to include some really remarkable and inspirational young Native Americans from across the country. We're going to be aggressive. We want to work very, very hard to try to make sure that we can make a difference. And my goal here is to save lives. Now, I don't know if we'll ever know the lives we save, but I'm convinced that if we reach out and create youth summits and do education and best practices and work with the tribal governments and others, I'm convinced that we can make a difference and have an impact on the lives of Native American children in this country.